XRP community, what is going on, guys? It is the 12th of July. We're taking a look at the XRP US dollar chart, daily chart, and the data is from Bitstamp here. We're on tradingview.com. We've had an incredible couple days here. We are bumping our head currently in some market resistance. Our first target that was hit yesterday, which was $2.81. That's right here in blue. We got above our highs over here from the 14th as well as the 12th of May. Came into some resistance. The market has found resistance in the past here, guys, back in early May. Let's see here. That would be January, the end of January, as well as the initial big run up here in early December. So in typical XRP fashion, if this thing is really ready to rock and roll, we should be heading higher within days here. That doesn't mean we're not going to get a pullback, but we're going to go left on the chart here and we'll show you that. We have the 200-day starting to turn up, 50-day obviously turn up. We're going to talk about some higher price targets here for XRP. This thing has ran huge in the past couple days. We take a look at the chart here to the left when this thing broke out of its pennant pattern that was in for a very long time. It actually shook me out of that in a time fashion. I was in it for so freaking long and had so much money tied up into it. I said, enough's enough. I have to move on and use the money for other areas and projects, and missed a lot of that run, unfortunately, but I did well with XRP. Anyways, we're back. XRPs are moving. Here is the initial run here. We started here basically right at the top of the pennant on the 12th. We had a very quiet day, one quiet day on the 13th, and then 1, 2, 3 or so days moved it all the way up from 62 to $1.21 roughly. And then it continued to move, with just a day or two here and there of a red candle. And then it was back in the action all the way up to where it found resistance here at the $2.78 mark. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. Our next targets here for XRP are 318. 318 gets us back up to these highs over here, $3.18. We hit let me show you how these price levels work, because if you're new to the channel or you need a refresher, here is your refresher here. So when we originally pumped yesterday afternoon, came right into the 281, pulled back, came up pretty quick, actually retested it, broke through it, and found resistance at the 292 level, and then sold off very aggressively, very quick. We came over here, retraced a lot of that, found resistance at 289, undercut the lows, pulled up, put in a higher low, and let's see where we're at now. Now these markets are just hanging out. So just looking at the 3-minute chart here, this thing looks like it wants to rock and roll again, at least up to 281. Got to watch the highs over here if we're going to get back up to that 285 level. Let's talk about some more upper price targets for XRP. So we have our eyes on, again, $3.18 for the first one. The 371, 455 is the highest we have right now this is based on recent price action. If XRP is in a bull run when altcoins go and XRP goes, I don't see why X455 would be the top. XRP should be going quite a bit higher than that, but that is an area that if we find resistance there, I would not be surprised. It's a important price level. We have a couple a little bit higher than that, and then we have one here up at 617. And then the highest I believe I have on the chart here, we'll look at in just a second here, is basically $11. It's $11.15 to be exact. Right up here, 11.5, 11.15. And that's going to run this price up roughly, you know, we'll call it about a 300% move from where we're currently sitting at. And it could happen quick. You know, $5 to $10 XRP could happen in just a couple days. When this thing's ready, if you've been around, you know when XRP goes, it goes. So if this is the time, I don't see why we would stop at that 455 mark. And that's what I have here for XRP, guys. We're going to keep on 318, 371, 455, and then we have a 617, and we have 11.15. So an $11 300% move higher for XRP. Bitcoin has some much higher price targets. We bumped our head on 116,834. Let's show you that on the smaller time frame. 116,834. Yesterday we were watching these markets here. Here's the original pump. Breakout right to 116.34. Backed away, traded sideways for a while, recovered the 50-day, broke through it, and flipped it into support right here, 116.834. And now we are just hanging out above it. I'm hoping that Bitcoin runs here throughout the weekend. Next target up there is $130,000 for Bitcoin. It could happen quick, guys. All right, if you're not yet subscribed, join us here on the channel. Appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts down below. XRP 318, 371, 455, 617, $11.15. Have a great day.